Working in the news business, we've had a front row seat to this story.
Nothing but change. Construction.
Tower cranes.
The new convention center.
Brand new baseball stadium.
$400,000 homes being built right next to a house that probably cost $30,000.
So for the next half hour, we're going to rewind. We're going to take a look back at 2014.
2:30 rush hour.
It sucks.
What's changed in the city? We'll look at how it's impacting our schools. We'll look at how it's impacting our neighborhoods.
It's just so much all at once.
I think there's growing pains.
Jay Sanders is not funded by...
You know, it causes for...
I resent this.
Tension and...
It's a story of change. It's a story of growth. It's a story of the pain that goes along with that growth.
And it was gone in a few hours. I couldn't believe it.
Nashville's going to be completely different.
I just wonder when it's going to stop.
So my name is Mike Rose.
Dustin Gagne.
Angie Jones.
Bud Nelson.
Michael Red.
Catherine Stewart.
Nathan Sharkey.
Stephen Clapper.
It's Alex Lucas. I'm a news photographer.
Photojournalist. Photographer with Channel 5. WTVF News Channel 5.
1, 2, 3.
Ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings we've been covering a lot of those lately.
The It City. 2014 was the year of noticeable change.
We do a lot of the what's new in Nashville.
We don't have a whole lot yet in this area.
And this is one of the up-and-coming neighborhoods in Nashville, so we're kind of focusing on that.
The cowboy hats have been replaced by facial hair.
So this is some of the construction going on for the new baseball stadium.
Wait, I couldn't hear you.
Sounds like they're putting some pilings.
See, listen to this. All this noise, all this traffic, big trucks running. You should not be here.
It spurs that development, which improves the neighborhood, which creates jobs, more amenities, and the things that people look for when they move into this area.
It's a two-part question.
Will there be drainage issues for the ball?
Ensure we won't have all temporary.
Will third be changed to a two-way street?
Yeah, my husband told me that the Sounds are building a new stadium for the Sounds just down the street over by Bicentennial Mall.
Lynette Davidson and her husband moved into this neighborhood in 2004, and she says the past 9 years she's seen a lot of growth from businesses to the community, and she welcomes everything that comes with a new stadium.
We have a little girl, so we've already talked about, getting season tickets. We might be able to take her, go for a couple of innings, even come back home before bedtime. So it means a lot to our family to be able to have something else that we can all do together here.
It's one of the consequences, I guess, of everyone wanting to come here and live here. Have you seen this place change?
Oh yeah, those are the little rich kids that built the house. Little college students.
Yeah.
I wouldn't live here.
Hi. I'm sure some people are happy to cash in, but others, I don't know, may be forced to leave. I don't know.
This is 920 Archer Street, and I've lived here for 23 years, and I love the neighborhood.
More than 20 years ago, Ella Lillard, her husband, and family moved to Archer Street.
Everyone that comes to visit love it.
Back when these homes were built for low-income families.
When we purchased this home, it was $39,000. But now,
Times have changed.
they're asking for like $179 and maybe over now.
But just take a look at her backyard view. What a difference 20 years make.
Hey, how you doing? You see, we have some new neighbors. Some more people moved in.
For Lillard and many of her neighbors along Archer Street,
This my neighbor always check on.
near 12th Avenue South and a hop, skip, and a jump from the Gulch,
There are some people who's talking about leaving,
everyone seems to want to buy their home.
but I'm not one of them. So I'm staying right here at 920 Archer Street.
Day after day, people who own homes in this area say they get dozens of letters in the mail asking if they're ready to sell.
Some people coming to say, do you want to sell your house at our store and not to answer the door?
Lillard says who doesn't want to live in a desired community? But with that attraction comes fear.
When they could afford it, earlier on they could, but now it's too expensive.
But the property taxes are going up because of it.
Neil Carruthers rents an apartment across the street from the home he grew up in.
You can see the top of the, what's the new building they just built? The convention center.
He says homeowners aren't the only ones taking note of the recent popularity.
The people from like Franklin, they seem like they try to move to the city, and like people like we're moving us back out further, because we can't afford to live up through here like we was because the price of everything is going up. If you don't have it like most middle class people, I feel like you're gonna be kind of left out or either moved out one.
Thank God for the sunlight. We've got so much cold weather.
Everyone we spoke with says they love the changes they've seen, but they just hope the cost of the change isn't too expensive for them to enjoy.
Bye-bye. It's like tearing a family apart. You know, you see they're leaving. It sort of hurts.
For the properties located at 1045 through 1101 Archer Street, requesting a variance in the 8th and Archer Street setbacks.
I think we've had a plan for years and years and years to build up this inner urban core, and finally it's hit critical mass.
Is there any parties present opposed or have questions regarding case 97 on Archer Street? Case 97. Okay, Mr. Chairman, seeing none.
We ready to vote on that? We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved, Joey.
You have been approved. You're free to go.
You can't say that people aren't given the opportunity to stand up against some of this change.
This is Nashville's oldest new condo complex.
It has a really cool architectural look. New cabinets, new appliances, backsplash.
So urban renewal and infill is going on across the country, and it's so widespread and rampant that there's actually, sociologists that study this whole phenomenon.
If you're a proponent of it, then you might use the term urban revitalization. If you're critical, you might use the word gentrification. As a sociologist, I sort of have to be attentive to both, understand how they get used, by whom and why, and for what reasons and what interests the terms themselves serve in the debates.
This conceptually will change.
Tuesday night, developers made their pitches to the nation's neighborhood association, and the proposals did not come without scrutiny.
These are geared for people making $45,000 to $65,000 a year.
But we don't want that.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm happy leaving it a lumberyard.
These folks had even bigger concerns.
We're excited to do a project in this area.
About the proposed Dollar General.
That doesn't mean we want it, that doesn't mean we want this. We would rather have a higher end retail development. If it has to be retail, we want a higher end retail development.
We need to upgrade, not just stay on the status quo. This has been the ghetto for God knows how many years.
Well, there is a sort of a frenzy of cultural attitudes about wanting to be in a creative or artistic district. A lot of the longtime residents aren't really a part of that conversation. So there might be a cultural displacement that goes along with the economic as well.
Amid the hustle and bustle of a summer street festival.
How's it going, guys?
One Nashville man,
Johnson Bullard, great to meet you.
hopes you'll take a moment to relax and slow down.
It's traffic calming, correct.
Johnson is working with the nation's neighborhood association.
Nashville's growing so fast.
Who says this month's tanker truck accident on nearby Centennial Boulevard is proof that 51st Avenue is too big and too fast for its own good.
Even when we're increasing traffic volume by having a festival, 51st still moves with 2 lanes. You don't need 4 lanes of traffic specifically for tanker trucks.
Their authorized street party transformed the road into 2 lanes for the day.
For vehicle travel.
A solution that the neighborhood says can permanently work for everyone.
Hello, truck. And we can peacefully coexist with tanker truck.
The neighborhood hopes fewer lanes could cut down on future accidents, avoiding darker days ahead. But the tanker truck drivers who are on these streets,
not a great idea,
say there might be another way to get the message across rather than filling a street with people.
Any kid from inside this party or just normal street kids could dart out in front of us.
He says the key to a safer road is not transformation, but information.
Well, I think a better solution would be to educate the public about the dangers of what we deal with constantly.
Whatever the answer is, it's change that we may one day see.
Great to see you. Thanks.
Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Down the road.
Yeah. I mean, like our generation, for example, I don't think sees it as important, for example, to like own a car.
In fact, these women who are in their early 20s would rather live downtown and not even own a car.
And as a college kid, especially a broke college kid who doesn't want to pay for gas, it's much easier to walk.
Very much a cultural change, because in the 60s into the 70s, the dream was to move out to the edge of development, get some land, and stake your place. And now, increasingly, the culture and the dream call for moving in.
12th South, East Nashville, Hip Donaldson. And each neighborhood has a different vibe.
My name is Jonquil Newland. I'm a reporter with News Channel 5. I've grown up in the Music City, and I can say when I moved back here in August, I've seen a complete turnaround in some of the poorest neighborhoods, and that itself has sparked a lot of discussion in the city.
Soon, the open spaces on Katy Hill were filled with new homes and a new type of neighbor.
When I met some of the neighbors here, it just felt like there's an opportunity for me to help people.
Lindsay Langley was attracted by the view but found a cause she could fight for as new developments went up around them.
Does that necessarily mean that people have to be pushed out of their home? No.
Katy Hill is in the middle of a major transition, you can say on the verge of gentrification if the community allows it.
The development spurt the momentum is just absolutely extraordinary right now.
It's a topic gaining attention across the city.
And it was nothing like it is today.
Across town, 12th South is an example of an area that's already gone through it, a neighborhood that doesn't see black or white, but green. Many homes here now sell for well above $500,000.
So often, though, income and economic class, people that are being displaced, has a direct relation to race, and so you often see poor blacks being displaced, but it's also happening to whites too.
Nashville community planner Tiffany Capehart is looking into equitable development.
A neighborhood can only be truly strong and stable if you have a very different cross-section of people living there, and that includes a different economic cross-section.
For residents on Katy Hill, change isn't always bad.
I can see the homes getting improved better, the houses around in the area that needs it.
So the city is aware that these changes have been affecting these residents in these communities for a while. They've been having some discussion on it. In fact, my colleague Chris Cannon did a story on it.
The Nashville of today is much different than the Nashville of 10 years ago. You can see the city is growing.
We're setting policies for the next 25 years of Nashville.
The debate about how to manage that growth.
This one's interesting, and I'm kind of like that.
Brought out Nashvillians Thursday night and all their ideas.
7 different ways to think about the city. Everything from neighborhoods to the idea of centers.
For nearly 2 years, the Nashville Next project has asked more than 15,000 people what they'd like to see in the Nashville of tomorrow.
What do you want for the future?
We're looking at how the preferred future that Nashvillians picked will influence or change the community plans.
During November, in communities across Davidson County, people will huddle around tables and come up with the final plan for the next 25 years.
We have parts of Davidson County that aren't just 100% retail.
People want affordable housing, better transit options, and activity centers where all of that comes together.
If people buy into this idea of growth in these centers and along corridors, then we can incrementally grow our transit system, which is something that the public also said that they prefer and wanted.
Planning process for the next Nashville is nearly done, and it will influence the future.
So all of this work that we're doing is not so the plan can sit on the shelf, but it's so that we can work on actions and implement.
All of the meetings, all of the discussion and debate.
I'm not sure about this one.
Will shape Nashville as the city continues to change over the next 25 years.
For anybody who's ever grown up here, we're kind of freaking out and figuring out what's going on.
Not much time to really process it.
The hipsters,
The different backgrounds.
contractors and developers.
Growth is good, but growth can be bad.
It doesn't look like there is going to be an end to it.